for it, find it, make it your own. It's the Get Thrifty Podcast.
Welcome back to the Get Thrifty Podcast, brought to you by ARC Thrift Stores. ARC Thrift Stores is a nonprofit thrift store chain, and I am your host, Maggie Civic, and we are all about sharing everything that has to do with shopping secondhand. So if you're part of our unique thrift culture, please contact us. We would love to promote your business and your social channels and share your stories and advice with our listeners. As always, you can find us on Instagram and YouTube at ARC Thrift. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty jazzed about today's guest. Margy McCarthy is an entrepreneur who left her corporate career to take over her grandmother's resale business, Elite Repeat, in the Chicago suburbs. Founded in 1969 by her grandmother, Betty, Elite Repeat became a beloved local consignment shop built entirely through word of mouth, community, and an eye for timeless fashion long before websites or social media existed. So yes, this is a grandma-heavy podcast today. You know we're here for it, ladies. Margy grew up inside the shop, watching firsthand how her grandmother built lasting relationships with generations of customers. In 24, she officially stepped into the business alongside Betty, determined to preserve the legacy while bringing it into a new era. Since taking over, Margy has launched Elite Repeat's first ever website, built a growing audience on TikTok. You know I'm obsessed with the TikTok ladies, and Instagram, and attracted consigners from across the country through her viral content and modern approach to resale. Margy, welcome to the show.
Maggie, thank you so much. I am so excited to be on this podcast.
This is going to be a lot of fun because you have such a fun story. Let's start with Chicago. Let's start with your background. But first, before we get there, how do we find you on all the socials, follow you, and give you all of our love?
That is so kind. I have a TikTok for Elite Repeat. It's Shop Elite Repeat. And I also have an Instagram, which is Elite Repeat Shop. I have a personal TikTok, but that is, the title is Marg-Teenies. But
that's cute.
Well, I used to say, because people would get my name wrong, they would say Margy. I said Margy, like a margarita.
Yes.
And then I thought, Marg-Teenies, like a martini, a little play. But that's where you can find me on social media and find us, Elite Repeat.
And that's what we've got to get into, because the socials for Elite Repeat didn't exist before you came along. So let's back up. Let's get the background. How did you end up here? How did you fall in love with secondhand? Give us all the deets.
Social media was definitely something I fell into. I actually tripped and fell into it. Being in love with fashion is a whole other story, but I remember in November of 2023, I was working corporate America, and corporate America is just not for me. I really have always had my heart set on Elite Repeat. I always knew it deep down, but my mother, my parents both kept saying, corporate America. I don't blame them. But in November of 2023, it was a Saturday, and I always would work with my mom. She also works at the business. She's behind the scenes more so, does the financing, helps me a lot with inventory and things like that. But my mom at the time, 2023, was working at Elite Repeat by herself. It was a Saturday. I walked in, and my goodness, we were very slow. And my mom goes, we have so many great pieces in. Look at this gorgeous vintage two-piece silk coat. It was like an opera coat, embellished, mink trim. I thought, okay. Well, I posted on TikTok. Mind you, my previous TikTok had 24 views. I posted at Elite Repeat, and I said, hey, everyone, I'm at like the most insane resale store in the western suburbs of Chicago. Should I spend my entire paycheck on this fur coat? And I had no idea where that would lead, and it led me here. It blew up, which I'm so grateful for. And here I am in 2026, taking over my grandmother's business.
It's amazing. So when did she start? What's the story behind her tripping into resale?
So my grandmother founded the business in 1969. She has always been a lover of antiques, and specifically antique furniture. If you can see from this is
gorgeous. And wallpaper. Like, this is vintage wallpaper.
Right. She's very into the unique wallpaper. She has grass cloth wallpaper downstairs. I wish I could give you guys a tour of this because it is absolutely incredible.
Some people do that for the talk. Yes.
But I'm thinking to myself, this needs to be seen. But she has such an eye for vintage designers. So she thought to herself, you know what? I should see if there's any ladies in the Hinsdale area that will give me their vintage home decor, vintage furniture, things like that. My grandmother started knocking on people's doors in Hinsdale, and my grandmother came from a background in California. She grew up on a farm. She was
Oh,
not
wow.
this wealthy woman ever.
Of the Chicago suburbs. I mean, it's so elite.
She just she ended up in Hinsdale with my grandfather, and they really didn't have much at all. And my grandma said, vintage furniture. So she knocked on
Wow.
women's doors, and they looked at her like she was insane. And they're like, we don't have any furniture. But this one woman said, I don't have furniture to give you, but I do have this one gown that I wore for a charity, excuse me, charity event. And you can try and sell it for me. So
Wow.
my grandmother's store, Elite Repeat, it's on Ogden Avenue. It is a very large store. From the outside, it's really cute. When you walk in, you think, what? Whoa, this is insane. Um, in that store, she had one piece of clothing. And I think to myself, can you imagine one
How
piece of clothing?
scary. Yeah.
Right. This was all on a gamble. I mean, she saw an opportunity. She worked away to buy the land from the previous owner. My grandfather was a little iffy on it, but she said, Bob, please, this is my passion. And sure enough, she sold that one dress, wrote a check to the woman, and the woman said, whoa, come on in.
I have more. Wow.
Yes. And my grandmother told me, she said, I had no idea who this woman was, but she brought me into her house, took me into an elevator. My grandma's like, I'd never been into an elevator, took me to her closet, pushed a button, and panels just started opening
Oh my
up.
gosh.
So that's how she started Elite Repeat. So she said, I worked with, let's say, Gretchen, who then told her friend Sarah, who told Megan, who told Brittany, who told Katie, and it just became this word of mouth spiral
Yeah.
and snowball, I should say, that led Elite Repeat to here,
Was
57 years later.
consignment in the 60s like a thing, or was she kind of a pioneer of this whole concept?
She was definitely a pioneer of resale. She told me all the time. She asked me if I knew of the merchandise mart. And I said, Grandma, I live in Chicago. Of course I do. And she said, when I started the business, the merchandise smart reached out to me several times to
Wow.
do a show, not a show, but like a teaching on how women can get started in resale. And my grandma said, but I didn't do it. I said, Grandma, that's a great opportunity. Why? And she goes, I started this business on my own with no one helping me. Why would I give like the secrets of my success
Advice. Yeah, yeah. Why would she share the
right
secrets
now?
to brands?
Exactly. So she did not do it. Not that she's gatekeeping, but she thought to myself, okay, or to herself, you've built this business,
Yeah.
and now if you go and share all your business secrets to every woman, it's going to be too kind of mainstream. But back in the day, secondhand resale was not as popular
Mhm.
as it is today.
Yeah.
It was kind of a stigma, I'd say.
Mm.
People would say, ooh, that's secondhand, or it
Yeah.
was almost like it was looked down upon.
Sure.
It's
And
interesting to see the cultural difference.
yeah, and there had to be some lean times. I mean, third generation, so your mom worked there too. What were the lean times like? I mean, that must have been when you were very young.
There was a lot. I mean, I grew up at Elite Repeat, and my grandmother built her book of business, but she also built the inventory. And
Yeah.
as more people started coming in, more things started selling. And something that I found interesting, especially growing up at Elite Repeat, people in high school would look at me and say, "Oh, that's secondhand. Oh, your prom dress? Oh, it's from your grandma's." Yes, it is. And it's
Yes.
beautiful.
Be
It
proud.
is,
Yeah.
but I don't look like everyone else here. I have something
Yes.
different, something unique.
And now those same ladies are knocking down your door, I bet.
You wouldn't believe. They want to get coffee now.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, sure, we'll get coffee.
interesting.
But I mean, I grew up at Elite Repeat. My grandfather would pick my sisters and I up from school.
Oh
We
my
went to
God, your own personal like dress up closet.
Yes, it was so cool seeing. I mean, we grew up wearing uniforms
Mhm.
every day. So I didn't have a sense of personal style when I was a young child. I wore the same exact thing. So my
Mhm.
grandmother would pick us up and bring us to Elite Repeat and watch grandma work. That was the best thing in the world. She had this
Yeah.
insane ivory silk sofa, so heavy, and she would sit us there with our tuna salad sandwiches, which
Amazing.
we were like, "This is good." She loved them. And we would watch all of these consigners with insane pieces come in. I mean,
Wow.
beautiful fur coats, the warmest furs, silks, soft cashmere. And I would sit there with my mouth open thinking, "Who are these women? They
Yeah,
have
these women, their story.
That's the thing about secondhand too, because a lot of people sometimes secondhand is and like vintage is like, oh, let me just get my hands on it.
Mhm.
That's fine. But the coolest part is the story behind the piece you're buying. You're not
Yeah.
just buying something like fast fashion from Neiman's. You're buying an item that's been pre-loved, that's in great condition, but it has a story behind it. So there's a little bit more of a sentimental value and
Yeah.
a specialness to it.
Is Elite Repeat, haunted? It's gotta be. A little bit of haunt, like a good haunt.
I mean, probably. I am very much into that. This is gonna sound crazy. I do think that my grandfather, he passed in 2015. I think that he hangs out there. I think there's a,
He near his wife, yes.
yeah, and I tell that to my grandma. My grandma thinks I'm a lunatic. She's like, "You're a little loony today." But I'm like, "No, grandma, there's a red robin that's always at the shop, and
Oh,
I swear it's Papu. He's saying hi. He's watching over us."
that's
I
amazing.
maybe haunted in a good way.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about our stores here in Colorado. I'm like obsessed. I think that we have stories of ladies who've worked for us for like 20 years and they're convinced of it, that there's, a little girl or a little boy at this or that store. So I just feel like this stuff definitely has a story. And in your case, like, I mean, you have an entire room dedicated to furs. I mean, first of all, how did that happen? And what happened that fur is so like the wags? The
Oh, yeah.
football wives are like clamoring. How did this happen?
Back in the day, furs were very popular in the
Oh,
50s.
Chicago, yes.
And furs back then, that was a sign of status, a symbol of
Mhm.
status, I should say. So women are only wearing their furs to the opera events, to a
Oh,
very special dinner, things like that. These furs were not worn how they are today.
interesting.
It's very interesting to see. And my grandmother has always been in the fur business per se.
Mhm.
Um, the ladies of Hinsdale, Westmont, Clarendon Hills, surrounding areas, Oak Brook, they will come and consign their fur coats. But it wasn't
Wow.
until recently that furs really picked off. I think that's what, not I think, but that's what we're known for a lot of the time is
Yeah.
vintage, which is my favorite thing. I love when fur season rolls around. I can't get enough of it. It's really great to see the furs getting a second life, just like any other, piece of clothing in our store. But to throw away a fur, that's not helping the environment. Somebody
Yeah.
on TikTok the other day was like, "That is disgusting. You should burn the fur coats instead of wearing them." I
That's
said,
worse for the environment. Yikes.
"Exactly." I said, "What the heck?" I thought these furs are already in circulation.
Yeah.
They're in great condition. The hide is in great condition. So instead of throwing them in a landfill or burning them, let's continue giving them a life they deserve and
Amazing.
continue wearing them.
Mhm.
And that's how it goes. I don't think that things should be thrown away just
Yeah.
because people don't like them, because
Yeah.
there's a market for everything and for everyone.
And it really has come back. Can you educate our listeners who may be, new to this trend? I mean, is it that mob wife trend? What brought back this love of furs and appreciation for these? I mean, they're like works of art. What happened?
I think that people like women in their 20s and 30s
Yeah.
started wearing furs. I, for one, have always been a fur person, but some people would look at me in Chicago in the winters and say, "What is she wearing?" Mm. Now people stop me and say, "Oh my gosh, I
Where can
love
I get that?
fur."
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think that people are starting to actually go back in
Hmm.
time in fashion. I say that because furs are coming back and they
It
were
all
really
comes back around, right?
right now, opera coats are huge.
It's
Um,
amazing.
Opera coats with fur trim, with massive fur trim. those were back in the day. You'd only wear them to certain events. Now everyone wants a vintage opera coat. So I think that people are starting to become more educated and they're educating themselves on the quality today versus the quality back then. They're realizing that even though it's vintage, maybe it's 50 years old, 20 years old, things like that, it's in much better shape and it's going to last longer than something you buy today that's polyester and it's going to last you for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So there's
And
something
it's
to do with
so
it.
like functional. Fur in Chicago, you guys have this, Canadian winds blowing down the pipe. It's uncomfortable. And this is really a functional piece as well. Besides this, I mean, I see these pictures and you in these like amazing boots and these gorgeous floor length furs. It's like a fashion icon piece too. Are people stopping you for photos in the streets of Chicago?
Yeah, you. People aren't stopping me yet
It's
for the
it's on its
photo.
way.
It's on its way, but there is something to be said for looking fabulous and
Mhm.
staying warm. You look great, it's functional, and I always say, if you're wearing blue jeans, a white t-shirt, and a fur coat, that's all you need.
Oh,
A lot of people hate the Chicago winters. I, for one, I love them. I'm like,
fur
bring it on.
season.
I I have a fur coat to wear. It's been the fur seasons have increasingly year over year been more epic, more fun,
Wow.
and just more intense in the best
Yeah.
way.
Can you point to like the TikTok video that took things just over the top? Can you like point to that one video that you were like, oh my God, this changes everything?
I posted a video probably in probably in 2024, maybe, of a full-length Golden Isle fox fur coat, and Golden Isle fox is one of the rarest foxes to find. It's one of the
Mhm.
rarest furs. You can go get a mink coat, your classic, like, grandma style, that's chic. You can find that easily, but finding a Golden Isle fox fur is rare. It's golden, that's what it looks like, and there's hints of brown, hints of a little bit of black in there. I posted a TikTok about that. Well, I started off the TikTok being like, "We're back at my favorite resale store in the western suburbs.
Yeah.
Look at this insane fur coat." And from there, people were messaging me left and
Obsessed.
right, which I'm
Yeah.
grateful for. I thought, "Wow, I didn't really think people wanted furs. I thought it was just me."
Yeah.
Come to find out, fur is back and it's here to stay.
Huge. Yeah. Talk about the business of Elite Repeat because, you probably have some like, clients from yesteryear that still come to you, but also consignment is a piece of it too. Kind of explain to our listener how it works for you and how it's been a strong business model and how you're going to take it to your daughter's generation.
Oh my gosh. Well, Elite Repeat operates on a consignment basis.
Mhm.
So my grandmother started the business where women will come into Elite Repeat on specific consignment days, and then we will go through, and at the time, my grandma would go through their clothing, their fur coats, things like that. If it fit with Elite Repeat, it would be consigned on a 50-50 split.
Very
Once that
fair.
item sells, right, and my grandmother said, "Margie, we're not dealing with 60-40 here. I hate math." I'm like, "Me too." She goes
Smart.
she goes, "Number 1, I hate math. Number 2, 50-50 is equal for the business and for the consigner."
It's fair.
Um,
Yeah.
a lot of days you see businesses take a 60-40.
Mhm.
That's for us, personally, in my personal belief, that's not fair. 50-50, and it's a partnership. It's not a, "Oh, we have this of yours now, like, you can never get it back." If you want it back and it hasn't sold, you're more than welcome to take that back, but it's just operating on that 50-50 split, and we do specific seasons, so spring, summer consignment, fall, winter consignment,
Yeah.
and that's how it's been for 57 years, and I do not plan on changing it anytime soon.
Do you store for seasons? So if you get like an epic, like this is a summer outfit, does it store until that's the time, right time of year? How does that work?
If there is a one of a kind piece and it is brought in right now, but it's great for fall, winter, I'll of course just say, "Okay, perfect, I'll run their contract fall, winter 2026," just so they know, so I know. They get a carbon copy too, so we're vintage. We do everything
I love
carbon
it. Like with a
copy.
grease pencil. Yes.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what we do. So I have my copy, they have theirs. If it's something that I think, that I'm not really 100% at the moment for fall, winter, and it's spring, summer, I'll say, "Bring it back. Bring it back in September." But if it's a one-of-a-kind piece, I'll consign it now, take it off your hands, and let's get it on the floor for fall, winter.
I love it. Can you share with us? I'm dying to know because I'm sure you guys have some stories, some consigning clients like from yesteryear. Do you have like a favorite client right now? Somebody who's either brought you something like incredibly epic or like the lady you know when she's walking in, Ethel, I see you every season. Tell me about a fun customer.
There are so many stories, so many, which I'm very grateful for because a lot of these women, they have known me since I was a little girl,
Yeah,
and they've watched me grow up. I mean, a lot of these ladies have been consigning with my grandmother, so they come to me and they tell me, "Oh my
I
gosh,
know
I
your
was"
grandmother. Mm,
Yeah, and I get to meet them. Some of them I've already known. I recently, I don't know, right, maybe a month or 2 ago, had a woman bring in this gorgeous gown, and it was vintage, and I love a good vintage piece. So I'm looking at it, and the woman goes, "I know your grandmother," and then she tells me she purchased the dress in the 80s, 90s
no.
on my grandmother, and she's bringing it back to consign.
Mm,
That
it
happens
just speaks
so
to the
often.
quality. Yeah.
Definitely, and I think it also speaks to Elite Repeat, but who my grandmother is and
Mhm.
how she was when she was operating Elite Repeat because it's all built on trust. You
Yeah.
can take that dress elsewhere, but the fact that so many consigners choose to consign with us, buy from us, and then reconsign that same piece just goes to show they have their trust in us,
Mhm.
and that's, I think, is really important.
Yeah. I mean, and this whole new like reseller market and this vibe on TikTok of people your age, young, caring about vintage. What do you think happened? How did this happen? How did we get here?
Well, I believe that a lot of women recently are or I know the past few years,
Mhm.
they're starting to see the decline of quality,
Mhm.
and they're starting to see brands that are out there that you could buy at Neiman's, Nordstrom's, things like that. They're looking at themselves saying, "What is this? I
Yeah.
don't want this." And then more importantly, they're thinking about themselves and how they wanna portray themselves.
Mhm.
And they find that shopping resale is the best way to do that because it gives them a sense of individuality, and it lets them be emotional to a specific piece.
Yeah.
You could go to Nordstrom and buy that top that every other woman has, or you can shop secondhand, find something specifically for you that nobody else has,
Mhm.
and then feel your very best in it. My
Yeah.
grandmother always said, "It's about how it makes you feel. If you put something on and you're not in love with it, then it's not for you."
Mhm.
Clothing is how you can feel your best, and when you feel your best, you perform your best.
Yeah. Oh, great advice. And I just love it that you can continue to have all these memories from your grandmother and share them with people. You're really keeping a piece of history alive. That's got to feel great.
Thank you, it feels fabulous, and I think to myself, "What a blessing it is to get
Mhm.
to do this every single day." There are challenges that come with Elite Repeat, as does, any family business,
Sure.
but there's also such a major opportunity to continue this into a new era
Mhm.
while still preserving the trust, the legacy, the dedication that my grandmother had in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the history, it just blows my mind. Now, if someone were to ask you, like, the contribution that you've made to this business that you're most proud of since you took over, what would you say?
I would say honoring my grandmother's legacy on social media and
Mhm.
bringing a broader, wider audience to Elite Repeat because Elite Repeat is in a small community and it's very much set on women and community. That's the heart of Elite Repeat. There's fabulous pieces of clothing, fur coats, shoes at Elite Repeat, and don't get me wrong, that's great. But there's also this side, which is it's a bigger picture of women supporting women time over time, joining together in community. There's
Mm.
so much I could tell you so many different stories 'cause it happens so often of women that are in the consignment room and they haven't seen each other in 4 years, 10
Oh,
years. And I think to myself, what is going on here? I mean, I was consigning with a woman. She's a new-ish consigner. Probably I've met with her 3 or 4 times. There were 3 women in the store, regulars. They are here all the time. They've been coming since my grandmother opened, regulars.
amazing.
They're on one side of the building. I'm with this new-ish consigner. One of the ladies runs into the consignment room and goes, "Jan, oh my God, Marissa." I said, "Oh my God, how do you guys know each other?" They were both pilots, and the consigner that I was working with was from
What?
like 25 years ago. I thought, man, so it really brings people together,
Mhm.
and I think that's what it's about because ladies come to us sometimes not because they wanna buy something, but they're coming because they need a little bit of therapy.
Yeah, a little
They're
networking. Yeah.
Yes, or they're like, "Oh my God, I had to get out of the house. My mother-in-law is driving me crazy, so of course I'm here." So not only do we have fabulous pieces, but we're more involved in the people side of things.
Mhm.
'Cause people think resale, yes, but it's really we're in the business of people and
Yeah.
taking care of customers and
Are you a
families.
member of your chamber of commerce and stuff? Like, how's the community there react to you? I'm dying to know.
The community is fabulous. I am not involved in the Westmont Chamber of Commerce yet. This is something that I've actually thought about.
Bucket
I've met
list.
with the president. They really wanna get me on board,
Yeah.
but I've spoken with my grandmother. Now, she doesn't go to work every day, but my grandmother is still the founder and CEO. I
She
run
makes
business.
the final decisions.
I talked with her about it, and my grandmother said, "Not at the current time."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." So it's a work in progress for the Chamber of
Sure.
Commerce, but the president comes in from time to time, and we chit-chat about potential business ideas,
Yeah.
and it's a light nudge in the right direction with my grandma.
Yeah, and it's an evolution and, the value of those kind of networking opportunities, she'll eventually come around to or let you, give it a shot. It's such a great opportunity. Like I could just see you being, in the top, recognized for this accomplishment. I think it would be so
Yeah.
important.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
It really is so fun to watch what you're doing on your socials. And so I have a girlfriend from Naperville. How far is
Oh my
Naperville?
gosh. Man, 20 minutes?
Oh
It's
my
close.
gosh. Okay. So when she
It's not.
goes back this summer, I'll have to tell her to come visit you because she's got to. And I hear my notes say you may be coming to Colorado. True?
Yes, I am flying into Colorado in the evening, June 6th.
Is this for
They're
a
actually
wedding or something? Or are you coming to source?
No, my boyfriend has actually a business meeting that upcoming week, and he said, "You're off Sunday, Monday,"
Come
and
with.
yeah, so he was like, "Let's fly Saturday evening, and then you can be home before you start work at 1 on Tuesday." I said, "Perfect."
Perfect. Well, if you come, we'll talk offline. I do a gift for my guests, and I'd love to just meet you, give you a list of my stores and a little gift and some vouchers for shopping, and you can go check out some of our stores. We do have the furs. So,
I would love to. Me personally, I am a sucker for shopping,
yeah.
not shopping in the retail stores, shopping in the secondhand stores,
Oh, our
thrift.
vintage here is just unmatched.
It's I believe it, and that's where the true, like, treasure hunt lies.
Yeah.
Shopping at Elite Feet is like stepping into your iconic grandmother's closet, and it's
Mm,
also the thrill of the hunt. It's definitely a treasure hunt because it's all one of one. So you're not looking at
yeah.
a rack of 10, the same Neiman Marcus blouses.
Mhm.
It's a Neiman
Which
Marcus blouse and a Mary McFadden dress.
and it brings such like there's so many challenges with one of one inventory, but so many great things about it too, which is great. Speaking of that, the dress you put on, the bridal dress, for your in anticipation of your sister's wedding, dead and dying, so gorgeous on you. Did anyone end up wearing that one shoulder number with the floral? I mean, so gorgeous.
Yes, it was bought by a future bride.
Oh, I love
I
it.
thought, "Ooh," you know, a lot of people keep asking me, "Are you gonna get into bridal?" Because my grandmother back in the day did bridal wear, and
It's
I thought, "That's
huge.
fabulous." I mean,
Yeah.
that dress you have such a great memory. Maggie, that dress was very vintage,
So
very one of a kind,
beautiful.
and she was very happy to receive it, to get it,
Yeah.
because she said she's been on the hunt, but she wasn't finding anything that match the quality and the price. So
Mm.
she's like,
And
"I'm
the
looking."
uniqueness, that one of a kind.
Totally. I mean, she goes, You go to Nordstrom and you see the same
Yeah.
dress and it's $600 and it's
Mm.
polyester." And I'm like, "Well, this one is silk. No one's
Yeah.
gonna have this one." So yes, that did sell.
That's amazing. I mean, and bridal is just, even for us, we consider ourselves big box thrift, although we're a nonprofit. Our stores are like 40,000 square feet. But let me tell you, the bridal stuff flies off the shelf. And if it's vintage, if it doesn't make it to our Halloween storage, because we'll store some of that vintage for Halloween season, if you ever get a chance to come back during like late August, September, that's really when our Halloween stuff goes out in our vintage. But that's why I
Okay.
asked you about the seasonality, because for us, we have these like massive locations to store. Can you store for seasons if you wanted to?
I don't have enough room for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's a specific piece, absolutely. If it's a one of a kind, vintage Bob Mackie from the 1980s, of
Oh,
course. But if it's a lot of different things, I don't
mhm.
necessarily have the room.
Yeah.
But I can always make something happen. I mean, for heck's sake, my grandmother's closet in the back here is completely empty. I could just store it here.
Yeah. If you need to. What era, speaking of the 80s, what era is hot right now? What are you seeing? Because you're going to see the trends first from your shoppers, your consigners.
I definitely have been seeing that the 90s
Mm,
and early 2000s are so popular right now. And it's interesting because some of our ladies are leaning more towards, for example, like tailored Escada
mm,
90s with
yep.
a gorgeous blazer. It's structured, there's shoulder pads, but it's still fitted, and it's
Yeah.
clean, aesthetic with a belt, with some Bermuda shorts. But then I
Yes.
see ladies looking more in the early 2000s. Roberto Cavalli has been so popular in our store
Mhm.
right now.
Yeah.
But then I always see our ladies always gravitating towards St. John too. That's just a staple of the business.
Oh, and it's such a rich lady aesthetic, it's like elite.
There's nothing better than a St. John. They hold their value. Everyone says, "Oh my gosh, how is this still lasting?" And
Mhm.
tell them it's a Santana knit.
Quality. Yeah.
Yeah, St. John engineered their own knit or type of knit
Oh, I
to
didn't
make
know
it.
that.
Yeah, so they have it's
Hmm.
called their Santana knit. It wasn't just produced, it's actually engineered, and it's very hard to replicate, which is why
Mhm.
you haven't heard of any other businesses as close to St. John. There's Steve
Holding their
Bradbury.
value. Yeah.
Yes. But St. John Santana Knit is known to last because they want repeat wear out of it. So you buy a St. John in the 2000s, it's still looks just like new. Maybe the elastic waistband could be shot if it hasn't
Yeah.
been worn, but the knit, pristine condition still.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would you say that, like, I'm hearing more and more, The Devil Wears Prada 2, showing all the vintage Love Story on Prime with the
Yeah.
Carolyn Bessette of it all. Are those trends affecting you? Are you hearing, more look for Calvin Klein and that sort of thing?
For the Carolyn Bessette, no, not
Interesting.
necessarily. I don't know if I mean, we do have some of our customers watching that, but
Mhm.
I don't have a surge of specifically looking for Calvin Klein. I did have ladies come in for Brooks Brothers button-ups or button-downs, the polos,
Oh,
and they gave an ode to Love Story, um, but not terribly, but with The Devil Wears Prada 2,
mm,
that has been huge for us
yeah.
because we have fabulous vintage Coach bags in right now,
Oh,
and, um Anne Hathaway was spotted in a vintage 1990s Coach, like, little crossbody briefcase. Emily
mhm.
Stokel, Pre-Loved, just talked about it, and I thought, "Oh my goodness, we've had that bag in and sold it, and we currently have a tan version in right now."
It's
So
huge.
many ladies come in for vintage Coach. It is massive.
It really is massive. The ask for coach, we're seeing it even in ours where, we don't really authenticate that well unless we have the authentication papers and it'll go in our showcase. But there is
Right.
a surge for that vintage coach. It is unmatched. That's interesting. It's so interesting. I'll be interested to see what you think of Colorado vintage versus Chicago, because that West Coast vibe is different than the Midwest. You guys have much harsher winters. So you get that like fabulous winter outfit. We had no summer. It like snowed twice here last year.
That's it?
I know, shocking. Now we're in the foothills, we're in Denver, so our mountains got some snow, but we didn't have those like, snow days where you could pull out that fabulous outfit in your boots. I think I pulled my like even my hunter boots out only once this season and because it was wet,
Oh
bizarre,
my gosh. It's
scary.
global warming, it's the climate change.
Something's happening. It's frightening. Mm.
It kind of makes me appreciate Illinois a little bit
Yeah,
because I would think, like Colorado would be so cold, snowing tremendously all the time in the
it's the
winter.
saddest thing ever.
I think when I think Colorado, I think skiing.
Yeah.
I think
When you
I
land here, you're going to be like, why is it so flat? Where are the mountains? Like they're far away from our airport. Our airport is like out in Kansas, pretty much. So it's flat. And off
okay,
in the distance, you can see the mountains. Don't be shocked. I from
okay.
California. And when my husband and I first came to visit, like to decide if we could live here, I'm like, where are the mountains? It's kind of overwhelming. So I'm telling you this so you won't be shocked when your
Thank
boyfriend
you.
arrive on the plane. You're going to be like, what's happening?
Okay, I'll keep that in mind too.
It's pretty interesting. And I will tell you, like on Broadway, South Broadway, if you guys are staying in Denver, is like an entire street of like antique and vintage. So great place. I
Mhm.
do have a small store there, so you can kind of
Okay,
get a feel for what our stores are like. But that was like our first store that opened in the 60s. And now we have
okay.
like 40 stores and they're much bigger, but Broadway's
I
an
can't
interesting,
wait to go.
it's so fun. Have you ever been to the West Coast? Well, no, you've been to California. You've done all that.
I've been to California once. I don't know. I feel like I don't really travel. I haven't really traveled a lot
Well, when
recently.
you're in retail, it's hard to do, especially a mom and pop business.
You get it. You totally get it. I mean, I
Hard.
can't just say, I'm taking PTO for the next 2 weeks. It's not like corporate America.
No,
I'm
no.
here all the time, which I'm grateful for because right now I'm in the process of building this up further from, or on top of what my grandmother has built it
Yeah.
to already.
Mhm.
I'm in the process, and yes, there will be a time where I need to take time off, but right now I'm not burnt out. I love
You're
my job.
enjoying it. Yeah.
And I just love connecting with the women. If I'm having a bad day and then I go into Elite Repeat and I see the women and I chit chat with them, I'm immediately happy. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, something ticked me off in the morning. No, I go see the women. I'm like, what's up? And then my mood
Brightens your
just,
day.
yes.
Now, has TikTok given you kind of an avenue into other states, there's so many resellers, so many vintage like experts out there. Has that
Yeah.
expanded your reach? Tell us about that.
TikTok has definitely expanded our audience and our customer base, which I'm
Mhm.
very grateful for. I can't put into words how TikTok has affected our business in such a positive way, and I'm
Sure.
so grateful for it. I believe personally because of TikTok, when we started our online website, like we were able to send to New York, California,
Amazing.
Texas, Montana, Iowa, and that wouldn't be doable without TikTok. I do like to say that because
Mhm.
people wouldn't know who we are without the power of social media beyond our local community. Um, TikTok has been such a great thing, but also I'm working with TikTok because I have so many impersonators right now, and this has been going on for a while, but people are
Ugh,
impersonating me in the business, and then I get an email from XYZ customer who is a quote like first time customer
yeah.
saying, hey, I just Venmo'd you $3,200 for the fur coat, so excited to get it, like please send me the shipping.
No.
Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, if you are buying a fur coat from me online, it's only going through my website.
Yeah.
We don't do PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, nothing of that sort. It's either directly through the website or you're on the phone with me and we're talking. I'm like, what's your credit card? We're
What a
just
pain.
TikTok. I've talked with them about it and they said, well, how can we verify that this is your account? I'm like, man, So they
They
wanted
need to
they
give you
wanted
that blue check mark. Do you have one? I don't remember looking at that. They need to verify you.
I unfortunately do not have that, and I have, like, tried seeing what the requirements are, and you
Mhm.
must be in, like, 3 professional, like, magazines or newspaper articles,
God,
things
do
like that.
podcasts count? Jeez.
I know, I'm like, this is a lot to go through, but the thing is, like, I'm not one to like, I don't even know how to get into that space yet to be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, XYZ magazine, like, put me in your magazine." I
Yeah,
don't wanna be that person that's like, I never wanna come off as
it's
I don't
coming, but let me tell you, that Chamber of Commerce might be the first step.
oh my god, grandma, let's
Mm.
go.
Give you
We
a
had
little bit of freedom on that, you know?
that's being in a family business is
Challenging. Yeah, yeah.
challenging, and there's so much opportunity. I mean, there's so much to do,
Yeah,
and I always am challenged with, "Oh my gosh, where do I start? How do I get from A to Z?" And I have to take these baby steps, but also there
yeah.
are some things I need to run alongside my grandmother and my mom.
Sure,
Because if
sure.
I did it, well, there might be something to pay.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But it's great. I would not trade this for the world.
Mhm.
I wouldn't trade this for the world ever. So many people say, "Oh my gosh, your life must be so easy. You're only open Tuesday through Friday,
Oh
1
my
to 4."
god, what?
And I'm thinking, I'm like, "You guys don't really see the behind the scenes where I'm taking photos and here I'm filming this
Mhm.
TikTok or I'm
Yeah,
shipping products out and like X, Y, and Z." And sometimes people will bring in things that are not clean, and I will
yeah.
refuse them because things need to be cleaned.
Mhm.
But there's sometimes that I'll make an exception and say, "You know what? I'll go get this dry cleaned myself. It's worth it." We
Yeah,
got in
if
this
you see something. Yeah.
so there was a 1970s two-piece Christian Dior, I don't know how to pronounce it, like Planor, I don't know. It was like a little vintage duster set, and
Oh,
people are like, "It's not a dress, it's a nightgown." But
mm.
I thought it could be a dress for someone,
Yeah,
and
today it could be a dress.
right, and it was just such an immaculate piece, and the woman was like, "I don't wanna pay to get it dry cleaned." I'm like, "I will gladly pay to get it dry cleaned.
Worth it.
I know this
Yeah,
will sell." So there's some things where I'm like,
yeah.
here we are.
Yeah, and you just kinda gotta go day by day. Now, you don't
Exactly.
really do too much, like, outside sourcing, but do you have a piece that you can share with us that, like, you found in the wild that has blown your mind?
Yes. Oh my gosh, and this is insane. I typically I typically don't do the sourcing because we are so blessed with the consigners. They bring us fabulous pieces. I mean, a red Christian Dior cashmere coat for the winter. Like they bring us the best pieces, but it also could be something that's, you know, unbranded that is just really cool and one of a kind. It doesn't have to be designer, but
Sure.
every once in a while I see something. And last Thursday, 1 week ago, I was in our consignment
Love
room
this.
and I was like, "Oh my god," and it so happened that the owners well, it's a husband-wife duo of York Furrier.
Mm,
They were a furrier in Elmhurst, founded in 1931, a generational business as well.
wow.
They've closed their doors, just because they retired, their children didn't wanna take it over. They moved to Arizona.
Uh, from
Well,
Chicago.
from Chicago to Arizona, so they're with their grandkids and their children in Arizona. Just so happens last Thursday, York Furrier, the owner, one of, pops in. Her name's Kathy. Kathy comes in, we're chit-chatting, "How's Arizona?" And then all of a sudden, I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and this fur coat pops up, and I usually I'm like, "Ah, it's kind of I don't know how that is." It's a York Furrier fur coat.
Oh
I
my
thought, "Oh
gosh.
my god, and Kathy's right here with me." So I showed it to Kathy. Kathy goes, "Oh my gosh, it
It's
looks
real.
like it." Yeah, I mean, for us being in the fur business, like, we can
Mhm.
tell real is fake immediately, and
Sure.
I thought, "Oh my gosh." And Kathy goes, You need to go get that." So I messaged the woman goes, "Actually, it's through an estate sale.
Oh,
First come, first serve." And I'm like, "What time does it open? Where is it?" Sent me the info. I drove an hour to get there. I left my apartment at 4:45 in the
oh,
morning, and I was like, "This is gonna be the dumbest thing or the craziest, most fun thing I've done in a very long time because it was a gamble. I really was like, estate sales are a gamble.
Yeah.
It's kind of like addiction, like, to that stuff, 'cause recently I went to a estate sale in Chicago, and it was great because there was Claude Montana, Mugler. I thought, "Oh my god, take my money." This specific estate sale, I really wanted the fur coat, full length, golden aisle, fox fur, similar to the one that
Amazing.
I was telling you about earlier that
Mhm.
went viral on TikTok. Swirl sleeve detailing,
Oh, wow.
drove there over an hour away, got there at 5:59 AM, and then I waited 3 hours. All that to hope
Hoping that it was still there.
I get it. So, yes, it was the craziest
And it was
thing.
there in good condition. You bought it. It was worth it.
It was it was immaculate. My jaw hit the floor. The estate sale lady running it, she said, "It's first come, first serve. Who got here first?" I said, "I did." There was this war veteran that said, "She did. She was here first." I said, "Woohoo." She lets me into the house first, and I ran. I was like, "Where is the fur coat?" I texted York Furrier, and they were like, "That is fabulous." And
Iconic piece.
I
And you
mean,
saved it from God only knows what fate, you know?
yes, and the thing about buying fur in general is it's tricky because you have to know what it's the hide, like, what the condition of it.
Mhm.
So I was running my fingers up, unfortunately up the fur, but unfortunately, the bottom was sewn, so I couldn't get a feel for the pelt.
Oh, wow.
But there's other ways to see if it's dry rotted, if there's any tears, rips, holes, stains, things like that. So I did my due diligence, and I ran with it, and then
It was worth it.
afterwards yeah, York Furrier was able to let me know, like, purchase date and things like that. So
Did your
there's
grandmother teach you how to, like, identify these furs? Is this like a
yeah,
family secret, a family tradition?
definitely. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a family secret, but definitely a family tradition. We are a
Love it.
fur family through and
Mm.
through. My grandmother started me on furs when I was young, and my mom always said, "Ah, Mom, she doesn't need to be wearing a fur, she's 14." And I thought, "Look
You're
at
never
me."
too young.
I'm like, "Come on." But I was also blessed to be introduced to York Furrier. My grandmother had
Mhm.
a fabulous relationship with them while they were open and in business.
Yeah.
And then when I stepped into Elite Repeat, I actually went over to York Furrier, met John and Kathy, introduced myself, and they have been such a tremendous help, specifically
Good.
John with furs. I mean, John, whenever he's in town, he pops in when it's fur season and we go back and forth. And he goes, I remember this fur. This fur was bought by Ken and his wife. So we have a
Wow.
lot of people that bring their furs for consignment from
Mhm.
York.
Yeah.
And then John comes in and he's like, oh my God, this couple was great. Or that couple, I remember them. So a
Wow.
lot of a lo- uh, different cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
My
But a lot
grandmother,
of but again, you're saving generations of information for the next generation to learn from. I mean, do you picture your future children working in the store? Thoughts?
oh my gosh, well, I hope so.
Ah,
I always say I always say one foot in front of the other. We have to we have to wait for my boyfriend to get down on one knee
there you go.
for it.
There you
I'm
go.
like, "Let's go," but we've had conversations where my boyfriend will say, "Hey, I have this job opportunity in Pasadena, California." And I sit back and I said, "Bye-bye."
Ah, yeah. This is
I
a
said
family tradition. Yeah.
exactly. I'm like, "We" well, I take it back from, like, well, if this job opportunity is great for you, by all means, take it, and that does sound selfish now that I'm saying this out loud, but I think to myself, "I just stepped into this business. I wanna carry on this tradition that my grandmother
Mhm.
built, and no one's going to do it but me." My mom helps me out too with the business, but
But you have a
this isn't
love for
just
it.
like
Yeah.
yeah, this isn't just any corporate job that I can just jump to the next corporate job.
Mhm.
This is it.
Yeah.
And
This is a
I'm running
lifestyle.
with it. Exactly. It's interesting 'cause I have some unique pieces, and my boyfriend always says, "Where are you wearing that?" And he very much supports me
Sure.
in the one of one pieces that I have, but he does always look at me a little like, "Huh."
Are you wearing
Like,
that to the grocery store?
Oh my god, I mean, we went to the Lincoln Park Zoo lights in winter, and I was wearing this insane
Oh,
boxer
perfect for a
coat.
fur. Yes.
Oh my god, I put it on, and I was like, "Is this too much?" And he started laughing, and he was like, "No." Well, sure enough, 3 other ladies were there in
Mm,
fur coats, and I
there
said
you go. Oh, I love
so
it.
I definitely would love if I do have the opportunity to get married and have children,
Mhm.
that they would be a part of this too, because I think that
Yeah.
it's very important to preserve a long legacy family business
Yeah.
in a world where everyone can go support huge corporations. It means a lot when people support small businesses because everyone
Sure.
thinks, "Oh my god, like, you guys must be making millions of dollars," and I think to myself,
It's the
"Not
hardest job on earth. Yeah.
definitely." So when people choose to shop with us, it definitely goes a long way.
It means a lot. Yeah. What about the one thing you want to manifest? I feel like this podcast brings really good juju to people. Anything you want to put out there that you find in the wild, also on Facebook Marketplace or the next time you're shopping or when you come to Denver?
Mhm. I'm trying to think now, I'm like, I had something in my head, but anything I'm really personally, I'm very much manifesting Mugler.
Ooh.
I love Terry Mugler. I think that the style back then was so sharp. His silhouettes were so
Mm,
dramatic with great shoulder pad detailing, but a very slim fitted waist.
yes.
And I think let's bring this back. So anything Mugler is what I am manifesting, but specifically in a size 34 because I just was at an estate sale in the city and there was Mugler pieces and they were a size 36 and I thought, "Oh,
Interesting.
yeah."
Interesting.
But I really love the old stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
Claude Montana is another great piece that I'm always manifesting, and not a lot of people know who Claude
Yeah,
Montana
I don't
is.
think I've ever heard of that.
Claude Montana was, I don't wanna say a rival, but right next to Mugler. So, with similar silhouettes,
Oh my gosh,
even
they
their
must have
tag.
such stories, you know?
Oh, yes, and their tags on the inside of their pieces look similar too, because it's the
Mm,
same era, similar construction. Um, yeah, so I'm manifesting anything Mugler or in this case, Claude Montana too,
you never
personally.
know. Anything is possible.
Always, I mean, for Elite Repeat, I'm always manifesting a fabulous fur coat in good condition that's pre-loved. I like
Mhm.
new I like new fur coats, I don't have anything against them, but when something is pre-loved, I think it just adds so much more value.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting. Because it's been to an event or
yeah.
2.
I mean, a woman emailed me this morning wanting to consign a fur coat, and then she said, "But I have my name on the inside." I said, "That's
Oh,
perfect."
it
That
has a
does not
history.
Yeah, that doesn't matter because when the ladies are at Elite Repeat shopping for furs, they look in the inside of their jacket and they're like, "Oh, this was owned by Beverly? Oh my gosh, Beverly must have been an icon."
Ah,
So
it has more
it's
value. That's
yes,
so
it's
fun.
fabulous.
Oh, I just love that you love this so much. And I'm interested, like it just comes off of you that you are happy with this path. And that to me is like so exciting to see women in this business that are, making thrift and secondhand just totally normalizing it. And I'm grateful that you're doing this for us. Bravo. Like, please
Maggie, thank
continue
you.
your service.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be in this. I've always known it. Resale, it's been in my blood. It
Mhm.
just took a little convincing from my family to say, "Okay," and for them to kind of see that this was working.
Yeah.
Um, but I would not change it for the world, and I think it's very important for somebody like me who's in my 20s to continue to educate people on why
Mhm.
resale and secondhand is so important. It helps
Oh,
the environment, keeps items that are already in circulation,
yep.
and it kinda stops the fast fashion purchases.
100%. Yep.
So I'm very grateful to continue the legacy on.
It's exciting. It really is. And I like to ask people this question now. Is there anybody on social media right now that's like totally inspiring you that we should be following? Definitely
There
our
is
girl
a
Emily Stokel. She's amazing. She's like the journalist of our entire industry. She's iconic.
Emily Stokel is one of the most fabulous women I've had the pleasure of meeting. She is so genuine, and I feel like in a world today where everyone or every woman, maybe man, is trying to do resale and trying to do this and talk about this and this and this, meeting Emily, oh my gosh, she is just a breath of fresh air, so
Yes.
calm, so cool, so collected, and I feel you can really see her genuine just character,
Oh, yeah,
which
and covering like, the research she does is, like, just unprecedented. I'm shocked at her knowledge of this industry. It is phenomenal. It's like your information about fur, your knowledge of fur, and if enough of these ladies get together in this community, it has just life for many, many moons. I'm excited to see what happens next. It's exciting.
thank you. Yes, she just has an immense, deep knowledge of
Mhm,
so many different things. My grandma has always said, "You can be good at one thing or great at one thing, but it's also important to be very good at a lot of different things," and she
mhm.
doesn't just cover vintage, she covers everything on, you know, someone's trying to buy eBay. This is why vintage coach is rising. Oh, Fashion File sent her over some data on X, Y, and Z. I thought, she's
Amazing.
got it going on. There is another woman that I think this woman is cool. She gives me a cool girl energy. Her name is, Chandler Gutterson. She is
I'll
the
find her.
founder and owner of Vintage Grace.
Vintage
It's
Grace.
Vintage Grace. It's in New York City. It's by appointment only, I believe.
Oh, wow.
She has some of the most incredible pieces. She just posted this morning about she's posted something like, "Can you guess the label of this?
Mm,
Coming soon." I looked at it, I said, "That is a Mary McFadden. Hello."
knew it
I
instantly.
think but she has the archival Bob Mackie, like, I have a gorgeous Bob Mackie blue dress. She has that exact one in
Mm.
gold and black. So she is very much someone to I mean, for me, I'm going to continue my relationship and friendship with her and continue watching her, but she's very knowledgeable about vintage clothing, the history behind it, why it's important, and the history on each specific designer she talks about. I think it's cool when
Sounds like the
people
woman who's gonna get Cher's closet when Cher goes.
God, I mean, I hope she never goes, but I mean, there will be time. This woman, Chandler, has so much history behind her. I think
Mhm.
sometimes people, especially vintage curators, they can have that piece. They can have that Yves Saint Laurent, dress from 1995, but they don't understand or they don't care to understand the why behind
Sure.
this importance.
Yeah, and
Like what
keeping the history alive.
Exactly. I think that's so important to keep the history of vintage clothing and modern clothing alive and support a small business in doing so.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it, and as we end every pod, I like to give and I love it that you're so into your grandmother because that's really why I do this whole Dolly Parton thing. So, thoughts and feelings about Dolly Parton, anything you'd like to say as we wrap things up and do a little ode to my personal love, Dolly Rebecca Parton. Thoughts?
Oh, of course. Well, I love my grandmother. She's actually my best friend, and I always
Mm.
tell her that. I'm like, "Grandma, you're my best friend." And she goes, "Oh, I'm your grandmother." I'm like, "Yeah, my best friend."
You can be
So
both.
and like but with Dolly, I think for personally, there will be times that I'm going to work I don't call it work. I'm like, I'm going to Elite Repeat, and I'm blasting 9 to 5 in the
Ah,
car, windows down.
right.
That's, like, my personal memories with Dolly. But for Elite Repeat, I think that Dolly Parton played, and still does to this day, but especially as I was younger, an important part in resale and secondhand because she has one of one items. She likes secondhand, but also the most important part is Dolly is so authentically herself.
Mm,
And she is not afraid to admit it. And I think that plays so much into my grandmother and Elite Repeat because
mhm.
Elite Repeat is built on women, supporting women. It's built on trust and it's built on just being your best authentic self. And
Ugh,
when you are, it shines through. And to this day, when people see Dolly Parton, they know her because she is just authentically
mhm.
herself. I think that's the best part, because if you're not authentically you, then who are you?
Absolutely. Oh. Chef's
I love
kiss.
dog party.
Beautiful. Thank you for playing along with that.
Of course, Maggie, thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
We're
It has
so
been
grateful. You have an amazing story. People are missing out if they don't follow along. Tell our listeners how they find Margy online, on socials, all the places, and of course, Elite Repeat.
perfect. Thank you. You can find Elite Repeat on Instagram. It's Elite Repeat Shop. On TikTok at Shop Elite Repeat. And then, of course, if you want to follow my personal and follow along on this journey that I'm going through, it is Margtinis on TikTok.
Iconic.
So follow along the journey. Well, I'm almost a year and a half, 2 years in, and it's still just the beginning because
Yeah.
this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's a
Mhm.
lifelong passion to pursue.
Absolute perfection. And you're missing out, guys. You follow along. You're just getting started. We can't wait to see what's next. Please keep us posted in your journey. When you write your book, when something doubles, triples, whatever, you want to share the news, we'd love to have you back, Margy. You're an absolute delight. So thanks for joining us.
Maggie, thank you so much, and I hope to see you in Denver.
Keep me posted. I love it.
Thanks.
And
Bye.
Thrifties, thanks so much for tuning in once again and listening to the Get Thrifty podcast. Reminder, save our pod, leave us a 5-star review about how funny, creative, and smart we are. And if you're part of this unique thrift culture, we'd love to talk to you on this podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Podcast with Maggie. And as always, we need you. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Arc Thrift, and now on TikTok at Arc Thrift Stores. Thanks so much and have a wonderful week.
Hunt for it, find it, make it your own. It's the Get Thrifty Podcast.